Kura team, welcome back to Bonneyville. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to PlayStation 5. How are you? Blimey, I have had a week and a half. Anyway, here we are back at Bonneyville. Let's talk Bonneyville. And I realised, Bonneyville, Bonnie, I should be doing it in Scottish. We should be talking in Scottish, should we not? My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Anyway, here we are, what we've been doing. Well, we've been doing some stuff. What have we been doing? Good job. Right. We modified a few things. Why did this? I fixed this. Remember how I fixed this? Look at this place. It's so busy with steel. It's unbelievable. 1,185. That's great. We got these trains. Hey, we got new trains. Should we have a look? So we got new trains. So I've been going through some of the trains and upgrading. So the Baldwin was what we had. We've now got the Mogul. So the Baldwin is a 284 kilowatt with 70 kilonewtons attractive. The Mogul is 400 kilowatts with 80 kilonewtons, and its top speed is 75. So the top speed is 60, top speed of 75, and a little bit more grunt. And as a consequence, I can make the trains much longer, sir. So I've been replacing some of these as they come through. And with longer trains, I've had to look at the length of the station. And then you have to remember to move the points out as well. Where's my train? Let me show you the train. Look at the state of this train. Look at the length of it. That is crazy, man. That is just absolutely crazy, man. Yeah, absolutely crazy. 252 capacity, 380 meters long. So that's what we're pulling at the minute, and it's an awful lot of stuff that we are pulling, which is, you know, great. Profit 4.7 million. This guy's making me a lot of money, which explains why I have 226 million in the bank and it's 1886, right? So we've got these wallopingly great big huge trains, and we got a couple of them. Here's the second one. So he's heading down, fully loaded, 126 food, 126 steel. So these guys are shifting a lot of stuff, which is fantabulosus. The timber guy, I redid the truck stops here, and I added in an awful lot more trucks. So he's now pulling. What is he pulling? He's just pulling out 84. How much is waiting? 100. Right, we can increase him now because as the demand is picking up, we need more product. So columnar timber, he's in bad condition. So let us whop on the old Mogul on the front. And 84 and there's 100. Let's make him 98. Does it think he's good condition? It does. So he's very good condition now. So that's fine. I wonder if I can get him to just do a quick flip around and pick up the rest of the stuff. He's got to wait at the points anyway, so I may as well get him to actually pick up some more product. Yeah, there we go. So he's picking up some more product. So that's great. So we've got all that extra product wending its way down this way here. Now, I did a little bit of jiggery pokery with the lines. Oh, I also did this too. I realized I was sending these guys over a bridge over here when I could just put the transport depot over here. I can't quite, because I did try. I can't quite get the depot and the train station to join together. I mean, in theory, if this thing gets really big, maybe we can, but for right now, it's just not close enough. So I can't quite get it to work so that it would just pick up fuel directly. As it happens, though, I have an awful lot of trucks. So these trucks are practically supplying this thing continuously. And you can see we have 1,300 oil there. So We really are ramping up, and we've got 1,000 fuel on the move, and we've got 300 oil on the move. So we're talking about some relatively large numbers of product that is starting to rack up, as it were, which may mean that I need to increase the lines in here. And increase the platforms in here and start looking to increase the size of those things. That's fine. That's all well and good. That's how I want it to be. Once this gets too busy, we'll double line this all the way down here and we'll add in another platform. Because what I was doing, and I kind of said this at the end of or during the last episode, we were moving bricks down here unnecessarily because we were already sending a train up here to pick up product that was going all the way to Rivas anyway. And the same with some of the products going to and from Arrecife. So what I did was, where there was a train from either Rivas or Arrecife that was going up here, I deleted any cross line that was carrying product from here to here exclusively for those two places, right? Because that's what we were doing originally. We've now changed it. So the lines that come here are bringing product to and from exactly here and going down there. The fuel one is a bit of an interesting one. I'm bringing fuel here so it can go to Arrecife. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Timber is going exclusively up here so far, and the rest of it is all oil going here. So this is essentially just handling the oil and fuel situation. We have this timber plant here, which is conveniently moving it up here. We had this guy arrive, and I'm still thinking about what to do about him, because this is seems to be running out of wood. So we're not supplying this with nearly enough wood, even though I'm bringing wood from over here. You can see that we've still got a huge stockpile of wood over here. So I'm not sure what the story with that is. There's always balancing to happen. There's always balancing to happen. Same with like the food trucks and stuff. The food trucks, there's 95 food here, 46 machines. So I'm trying to balance those out to make sure we get these things happening through here, right? Now then, there was another thing that I did. Antequera. And I did say this because I did think it was a possibility. Look at how many trucks are coming through here. These are all emissions related issues. So they were all dropping off in the middle of the city. Two things. One is they were causing a massive amount of congestion. So we actually had to increase the size of the roads. So you see we now have some extra wide roads and the vehicles moving around because we have buses, which are these things, coaches as it were. And they were getting hung up behind these transports because you can see there are a lot of them. And they were all delivering to this place over here. Now, for the fuel situation, the fuel's actually mostly over here. So what I did was I set in this depot hub. What is it they call it? What is it we call this thing? Station, truck station. I set in this truck station here so that they could move more freely, so that they don't end up stopping in the middle of the road. Because once they stop in the middle of the road, you just get a huge queue. Whereas here, you can see that they come in and they work around each other and they bypass each other and they keep moving and there's no queue. So that's helping. Obviously, the best solution would be to run a bypass road down here and then in here and then put in a waypoint and then they wouldn't drive through the town. And that's probably the next stages. I just wanted to make sure this was working. It's working. That's fine. We can put in a bypass so that the coaches can go down here and drop off. That's all well and good. Look at the size of this train. Look at the size of this train, man. Hey, that's a lot of oil tankers. That is the oil tankers that's carrying fuel. 1.2 million he's making me. He's ready to pick up 189 and there's 1,000 there. So he's going to be easily full. Arrecife's not quite getting enough stuff. I don't know why it wants 1,000. Who else are we supplying? We're not supplying anybody else. Oh, Antequera Yeah, interesting. It's interesting how they're getting 108. Anyway, so I did that. So I did all those changes and I moved some stuff around. Arrecife might need the same. So you can see there's a lot of wagons moving around in and out through the town. I have an interesting, or not an interesting, I have an extra problem with this one in that I'm sending them, so they're doing a loop as you recall, so they're bringing fuel in here, then they're going down there and picking up logs and bringing logs back, so they're only traveling this short distance empty. If I wanted to put in a depot for fuel, I have to put it in somewhere over here, so it's quite a distance from the logs. It might be better to have the tools trucks. The problem is with the depots is that, interestingly enough, the depots don't cover the same amount of area. The stations, sorry, as a bus stop, or they kind of do, but you would see that I'd need to remove 3 buildings to put that in there. So if I wanted to put the fuel there, I'd have to remove 3 buildings, and if I wanted a depot or a bus station to do all tools, I'd have to find somewhere in here to do it, you know, and then we're also deleting buildings, possibly out here. So look, it's an evil necessity that I got to do at some point, so I probably got to do it. Plus, bread and bricks. So I haven't dealt with the bread and bricks side of things yet. We're just shifting steel and tools. I was just looking at that, and just, you know, looking at how busy these lines were and everything else. So we are getting bread here, and we do have an awful lot of bricks. Not as much as we did have. It does have to be said, but that's all right. There's not a lot of brick trucks actually moving. We could probably make more of those. If I want to move bread and bricks from here, I probably need an extra line, and then he can cut through this side and go this way. Might need to double line more sections of this, probably all of it. I mean, I've got enough money to do it, so that's fine. So then we can get bread, bricks, tools, so we could get everything to Arrecife, which would be fine. And then they would be the first that we would get everything to, which would be hunky-dory. Obviously, everything else is going up, so Columnar is starting to get more things. Still, machines are a problem. That said, I'm working on that. Trying to get, again, the issue was steel, so we need to get the steel to the machine plants. It's quite a distance. There's obviously steel that needs to go through there. It's quite a distance. So we're still working on that. I added in another platform here to try and free things up. So this is the oil and bricks, which is still going in here. This is loaded with oil, which is fabulous. So everything's going okay. Is it fully optimized? No, but then I don't know if it ever will be, to be honest. Every time I add in more stuff, I get more stuff, which is great. So that's all tickety boo, ba boo, ba boo, ba boo, ba boo. Two of the important things that need to be dealt with are over here and bricks. So this bricks guy, he's not getting nearly enough rocks, probably. And I can probably make more rock trucks. Where's my nearest depot? I probably need a depot closer. So let's start by encouraging this young chap here. We want him to start down here. Ooh, 100,000. Is there anywhere cheaper? Could you actually put it there? Or do you think you can? Can you? 72,000? What's the matter with you? Not in the South Country. 72 grand! 12,000. That seems to make an awful lot more sense to me, pal. Right, let's just have a quick check of this line. Can they pick up at both sides? They can. Right, how many are there? 1, 2, you can count, there's 15. Right, well, for a start, they don't look like they're in great condition, so let's replace them all with ones that are in great condition. There's one at the bottom, which is fine. We must have missed the top one. Where's the top one? Right, so let's replace these. Right, I got 15. I would say, honestly, really easily double. So we can honestly easily double that. That will start a greater production of bricks there. There's going to be a traffic jam to start with, so we'll just need to. I just need to keep an eye on them while they get started, because sometimes what can happen is they can get themselves into a little bit of a kerfuffle. Where are they going? They're heading off to the bricks first, because the line is set up as if they go to there first. Well, that's inconvenient, to be sure, because you're not actually carrying anything. Anyway, bricks manufactory. So we're not really. I'll need to see how many bricks end up being produced. So anyway, more rocks for now, which is hunky dory. I'm kind of eyeballing what we do about this as well. I can probably run more rocks up here. I can just do what I did down here. I can put a truck station on this side once I've widened the train station itself, and I can have the rocks trucks bringing rocks up. They're not going to be taking anything back though, which would be a bit of a nuisance. There's not a lot I can do about that. It's raw product. There's not really a return journey. Yeah. Anyway, we need to do this flipping line, don't we? So we need to do this bridge. How do we want to do it? So I reckon what we're going to do is we're gonna widen this and move it across one. So that means that the track's going to come from about here, right? So the track line will be about there. So let's put a marker in for one track, just about there. Now, I would like it to go over the road exactly the same as that. You can kind of loop it in so they're kind of the same, if you know what I mean. So if I were to, you'd have to, how would I do this? So what I would have to do, yeah, I don't know if it would necessarily, because it's a bit tight. Yeah, it's probably easier to do it from over this side, to be honest, because what you can do here is you can do this. Right, so you bring it along, bridges, make sure it's snapping to the same level, and then we bring it right across the top of the bridge to here, right? Here. Once you've convinced it to stop misbehaving, right? So it's now made that part of the bridge, which is fine. And then we can go and find the node, so it turns blue, and we'll do the same. Do it up to the bridge first, is my advice, then do it across the bridge. Right, so then what we want to do, probably, is if we're going to be starting from here, what's this, pardon me, how bad's this height going to be? It's a bit, that seems a bit lower than the, it'll be a bit higher than that because the train station will be a bit higher than that. But if we were to do that, that's fine. Can we then delete that section and that section? Right, so it's going to come out of here, it's going to loop across, so that it makes this just a nice simple bridge and doesn't mess with my bridge, which is fine. And then we will do the inside curve, which is this going to be the inside curve. Let's see if we can, because I want that to still be 120 Ks, right? So anything shorter than that is a problem. How does that align with where we want to go, actually? I actually think we want to pass on this side, so I think probably about, let's see where this is pointed. I would even say, yeah, remember we're going to have to lift this up and there's going to be an approach. So let's pull it back a bit and say about there. So that's the inside of the curve. And the outside of the curve. Right. I may be deleting these, so don't panic. Right, don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Right, so let's see. We said about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6, because we might at some point want quite reasonably large things going over there. And we go like that, 16.7 million. Right, so that's quite high. What bridge do we want? We don't have any. We only have brick bridges for now. We have the weird bridge. That looks truly. Who would build that? I mean, this looks at least nominally normal. So we'll do that, and then what we'll do is that this slope is going to be too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete that back as far as there probably, and we're going to start here, and we're going to come all the way over. It's a little bit of a dip at 116. Why is it 116 there? It's an interesting one. It's 90 on the incline. We might have to let's see how far back we need to go with this to try and keep up the speed, because this could be a still, that incline is still going to be a bit of a drama for us. It's going to slow us down to 90. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's a heck of a bridge. It is a heck of a bridge, but I think it's probably reasonable. I would have liked it to go a little bit quicker than that, but we'll just work with that. Now the next thing to do is try and build the second bit, which can be twitchy as anything. If you can, and sometimes you can get it to do that. So hopefully, in theory, if I come along here, say as far as there, right? Oh, is it a 90k bridge? Stone bridge 90k, right? That's why it slows down, because that. So okay, so when we get the chance to upgrade this, we'll be able to go quicker, probably, ideally, right? So we've made that. That's cool, cool. And then what we will do is we will tie this also in, and it hopefully should lie along the second one. Right, let's have a look. Any issues? Looks good. Right, so it doesn't look too bad. It's a fairly steady incline, and then it hits the bridge. We could, in theory, let's see, because where does it? Yeah, see, this is where it gets funky. So if we were to try and delete a section of track, we could delete a section of that track there, and that track there. And then what you might be able to do is convince it that it needs to do that. Don't worry about how it looks for now. Then we come back and say, okay, well, that makes sense to us. We now want you to connect up. And it then decides that it wants to connect up. Sorry, if we make sure we get the right node, and we connect it up, and we realize that that's the wrong bridge, so we make it the right bridge. There we are. And then we have an earth embankment. And the earth embankment is trying to determine what speed it's running at. It's running at 120. So then it's running up the embankment at full belt. So it's coming around here at full belt, and then it only slows down to cross the bridge, right? And then what we can do is you can go and you can get the smoothie tool. And if we make it a nice big smoothie tool, and we make it the big one, that's great. You can smooth it out so that it looks a little bit less like the craziest thing you've ever seen, and a little bit more like something that you might honestly actually eventually have seen somebody built in 1887. Right, so it's a very big earth mounted railway, which is that's fine. That's okay. It looks a little bit weird, but that's fine. So we've got enough space, hopefully, for big ships. Might be a close run call. Fish! Here you go, fishing, mate. Would you like some fish? I don't know what they are. What are they? Does it say hello? Easter egg. Hi, Easter. You're just a bird. Don't call yourself Easter. Right. So we got this wallop and great big huge bridge. I digress. Tomoloso. Ah, cheapers. Right. We want a modular train station. That's for sure. Probably want it to be as long as we can be. We may as well whop in 2 tracks. Where do we want it situated? I think we said we wanted it situated on this side. I can do it that way around. What is it doing? It's just bringing in bricks, so I'm gonna have to put in a depot either way. And it wants goods. And do I want anything else here? I think I might want a coastline from that steel plant, or there's other plants down there and or up there. So I reckon we want to put it about here. I did say about wanting to try and take it through that hill just there, didn't I? So I'd say while we've come in a straight line, there's going to be a little hook over to this place, which I'm okay with. So if we put that there and then we hook it in, what's that going to do with my lines? 120, so that's fine. It's full speed all the way. So full speed all the way is great. What we then need to do is do what we did before. You delete that and delete that, and we go back in here and we make this all an earth bridge, and we then go back. You can actually, if you want it to be stone bridge, we can go from this side. It'll remember the stone bridge. Stony Bridge! It's a video! Absolutely. No? Nobody know that? Scottish comedy series called Absolutely? No? Back in the day. Right, so we've got this crazy landform happening over here. But that's alright, that's okay. Look, that's fine. I would like to flatten the area around the trade station while we have the opportunity, because it's going to be probably important later. So we're going to do all of that. It costs a fair bit of money, and we're going to do a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of the other, and we have this road that's inconveniently in the way. I did say goodbye to industry, so that's that gone. Right, so that's coming through there, little jiggery pokery, which is fine. I want to get it around the around the town, and then down here to Coleslaw. Now, Coleslaw. Where do we want to? I want a little depot down here. There's wood down here. That would come in handy. We could shift some additional wood back. I can always use more of that for timber production, so that's handy. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost inclined to say what we're looking at is somewhere out here, outside the city. We've got wood. We've got the possibility of making machines if we can import timber and steel, which we know we probably can. We've got ore, which probably isn't super helpful right now. We've got plastics over there, which will be helpful eventually. I wonder if it's better over here. I wonder if it's better over here, because the wood, not so much of a drama. And if we put it here, the oil in the plastics tends to probably be a bit of a drama. So I want, look at that, it's the middle of a hill. Middle of a hill. Could we turn it around so it's, we'd have to turn it around so it's not in the middle of a hill. So we'd have to turn it around. Otherwise we're gonna be cutting big holes in the hillside, and we're going to be doing a bit of a round loop. But we have to loop around to avoid that farm anyway. So I wonder if even if we moved it over there, that's not exactly the worst idea in the world. And it's 320 and boom. Right, there we go. Let us spray. Yes, I'm just flattening this out. We're gonna want depots around here and various things and all the rest of it. Yada yada. So that's fine. Let's flatten out a big chunk of land. I did tell you how much this costs. Look at that. Down to 180 million already. So how much are you spending? Spending money like water. The water drinks available at the bar. Right. So then train line wise, where the heck are we gonna? This is gonna be fun, isn't it? Want the inside line for the inside. Oh, look at the state of it. That's a big chunk of money too. Right, okay. And on this one, we want the inside line for the curve. So I think we're probably gonna, could we? Just trying to see if we can cut close to this but not go crazy. Because I kind of want to, yeah, if we come in anything worse than that. But that's okay because then there's an almost directly straight line this way. Doesn't like the road system. So we keep that flat that way. That's a big chunk of money, but okay. So we do that. Then we're going to want to come here. There's a little dip in the land there, so that's okay. And then, sorry, let's check. This is the inside one, so I need the outside one, because the outside becomes the inside, etc. So that guy goes there, and then this one will become the inside curve, right? 91, so that's not quite right, so we're going to want to change that. Let's give it a little bit more room. And let's see if we can keep this at 120. So if we go there to 120, we've got to go round. That's still 120. It's a 116 there. That's 120, right? So let's ditch this bit of road because it's right in the way and proper annoying for right now. I'll sort it out in a minute. I'll sort it out in a minute. Look at this. It's done a bridge. I don't want a bridge. We'll settle for an earth embankment, please. Sorry, an earth embankment, please. And our track. There's a bit of a kink there, so I can straighten that out. Probably just go straight. Get rid of that bit of road. Shoo. Right, does this look like it's going to be relatively straight? It does, and 120. Right, so there you go. So, hopefully, this one should be straightforward because he's on the outside of the curve. So the inside of the curve should be the slower one. So this guy's 120, and he's going to, let's see if we can line him up on the side, 120. Make sure we're actually connected on the node, 120. And we should be able to come around here. It should line up, 120. Right, there you go. That's a sort of a 120er all the way. Where is my smoothie tool? So we'll smoothie this. Let's just smoothie along the line. So it looks like a train line. We're not so bothered about the cuts. The cuts are good. I kind of like the cut like that. That's fine. That looks okay. Bit of a relatively normal-ish cut. Don't like these. They do look a little bit unwieldy. That kind of looks okay. This does not. Alright. That's fine. Entrance to the tunnel. Just change that a bit. Oh, weird. Did a slightly weird thing there. You got some interesting things around the edge edge of the industrial area. We'll just smooth those out as well. And then that. Right, and we know that, and we know that. Right, so there you go. So we've got a line here that connects Coleslaw to Villa de Cannes hub. So what we want to do is we want to set up some transport areas that are going to offload the bricks to Tomoloso, and they're going to take them in there. That's going to be in the way, so we'll get rid of that right now. And then we want to do the same for Coleslaw. And then once they'll even take tools, so we can start getting tools and bricks at least down here, and oil for plastics, so we can start making plastics. We can bricks, and tools can go back again because sorry, not bricks and tools. Logs can go back again. Let me just double check on that, but I am pretty sure that the stake cars, bricks, the tools go in the wagon, but the bricks go there. So the bricks, we can bring back some logs, so the logs can go back to this guy. So this guy's moving timber. So when we bring the logs in here and drop logs off, the timber truck can take the logs up to the timber manufactory. That will sort that problem out. That's great. That's a confirmed line. So we have bricks, tools. At some point, we're going to have timber and steel, and they can all take logs back, which is great. And we're going to want to bring some refined oil product down here for plastics, and some of the other wagons, like the tools wagons and the machines wagons, they can also take plastics, so there's room for that as well. And Tomoloso, you're just doing bricks. We could possibly see about, can we get this guy producing food and then take food back somehow. We could see if we can get this place up and running with food. That's going to be a heck of a challenge, mind you, but there you go. So I've got a bit of work to do. I'm going to do that offline so that you don't have to sit through much more else of this explanation. You've seen me go through and do this. It's a bit of a thing, and there's a way to do it, and that's kind of the way I've done it works for me. I mean, I get that, you know, you might argue, well, if you'd done this over here, you would have been able to say that you have a straight line through here, and yeah, maybe that's fine. Yeah, okay, if you want to do like that. This hasn't changed anything. This approach is still 120. That approach is still 120, and the bridge is restricted to 90 because it's an older style brick bridge. So that's fine. I'm not bothered about that. This train line out here, yeah, okay, we've kept it as straight and as fast as possible, so I think that's all cool. And the depots we know are the depots that we're going to set up, etc., etc. Your own personal preference. So yeah, so set this up. We're now at 175,000, so that was 50k, 48,526, so 48k, 48,526,000 has been spent. And I haven't even finished. So I need to go through and I need to wrap up these hubs, set up these little bits and pieces, and set up the lines and various other things. And I'll bring you back when we have a little bit more action. And then after that, it might be sort of a bit of a wrap up because I have gas bagged on for quite a bit. Anyway, I'll best get on with that, and I'll see you all real soon. Ta-ta for now. Right, welcome back. Oh my gosh, that took quite a bit longer than I thought it was going to take. So we moved some things around. We changed this. We added in a hub. So I've now got trucks over here picking up rocks. They're sort of getting in each other's way for a little bit. That's because it's just starting. That'll iron out. Don't worry about it. So they're dropping rocks off because these hubs are connected. These rocks are now being picked up by these brick guys. So these brick guys are picking up rocks. You can see there's rocks being picked up there. So those supplies will take a little bit of time to iron out, but there we go. So because we're going to need a lot more bricks. So I'm going to put rocks there. These brick trucks are now doing a double job, which is excellent. So that will very definitely help, and I can massage those numbers as and when I need to. I obviously added in this extra line, this extra platform, so now I've moved some of the routes over, so we've got some additional platform space for people to come and go, which is very, very helpful. We've obviously got all the lines over here. I've built in these large hubs, which is great. So these guys are now they're dropping off some bricks, which is what Tomaluso wants, which is awesome. And then we've got a train which is coming all the way down here. There's quite a few things happening down here at this one. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I've connected this guy with this very wonky road all the way up here to this food production place, and this wonky road all the way down the down that ridge there into the town. Which is a bit bonkers, but I wanted something to take out of Tomaluso, and it makes sense to have this be a food hub for the time being. If either of these two also want food, that's fine. But we're producing food over on this side. I can always bring some more vehicles over here when we get some vehicles that can travel longer distances quicker, etc. So the idea is that the Tomaluso brick train is bringing in bricks and then taking food across, and then we can talk about getting food out of Villa de Cannes hub to wherever it needs to go to. So that had to happen, which is great. Down here at this side is interesting. I had to bring in two different types of train because there's so much going on here. There's oil and plastics. There is timber and steel, and obviously then machines. There's bricks and tools, and there's logs. So there's a lot happening down here at this one, actually. So what I've got is I've got two freight. He's picking up logs. So that's freight number 2. Let's have a look at freight number 1. So freight number 1 is going to the Villa de Cannes hub, and they're picking up the refined oil and the bricks, which is awesome. And the reason I've kept that separate is because I think that's going to be a big train. So I think that's going to be a big train. So I just wanted that to remain rather simple. So I think he'll be a big train. He'll bring the refined oil down, and the refined oil will go in here. I don't think we've delivered any yet. No, we haven't delivered any yet. So he'll bring the refined oil in, and that will start loading up to the plastics place, which will be fine. And we've got some trucks which will pick up the bricks and take them into Coleslaw, which is also fine. And let's keep that simple. In terms of going back, for freight 1 going back, we have decided to do nothing. I could probably do logs, actually, because bricks and logs, so we can do that. We can definitely take logs back. We'll see how that goes, and we'll see where we end up with that one. But they could definitely take logs back. That's definitely not a problem. Sorry, just one sec. I probably have a lot of vehicles to replace, so let's go and do that. Trying to keep an eye on this as much as I can. It's permanent. It's a permanent state of affairs. And as I've said before, I don't want to go through and do them all at once, because then they all come up again. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. This is the way I want to do it. Is it giving me more work to do? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we've got a couple of trains there that are going to need dealt with. Anyway, let's let this run for a little bit more. Freight 2. So freight 2 is a little bit more complex. It's picking up the steel and the timber and the tools. Now the tools is the covered wagons, which is great, and the steel and the timber is the open stake cars. So I've done that 50-50, and we'll see how we go. It should be the same, but it's not about it's about what ends up at the Villa de Cannes hub, because it's 1 timber, 1 steel equals 1 machines. So we'll see how that pans out, right? And then when it gets down to Coleslaw, it's going to pick up the logs and it's also going to pick up the machines and take the machines back. The machines will fit in the tools truck, the tools, the same wagons as the tools would fit in. So they're going back, and then logs as well, because we always want logs, which is great. So that's then that route. The logs that are coming in here, that timber truck, not timber truck, timber train. The timber train that's going through here is now picking the logs up at Villa de Cannes hub. I do see that we do have a fair amount of timber there, so we can probably make this guy a little bit longer again. So let's add another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add another 4 of that, because we're gonna want more. We're up to, there's like 225 stacked there, so we'll wait for him to go and do his thing. So blimey, so that is a lot going on. So we have connected up a lot of things all at once. It's going to cost me a fortune when it comes down to renewing all this stuff, because it's all going to renew at the same time. And I put in a commuter wagon service between Tomoloso and Coleslaw, which are the only towns over here, so they'll probably want to service each other, which is great. So we have all this thing happening. This is producing food now, so the food trucks. I did temporarily have that set to do that. So yeah, so there's not a lot of trucks. Wow, look at how ponderous these things are. How quick are they going? 6 kilometers an hour up this hill. This is not going to be a very big producing thing until we can get more powerful machines to get up that hill. Anyway, there you go. There's a lot going on. Oh look, Villa de Cannes now wants fuel. Well, that's convenient because I've got fuel over there. So yeah, I'll just put it on pause. So there's a lot going on. Everything seems to be working the way it should be working. Let's have a look. Sorry, not there. Let's have a look at over here and see. So the Tomoloso Villa de Cannes freight is picking up bricks, which is great. That's what he wants. The Villa de Cannes Coleslaw Freight 1 is picking up bricks and refined oil, which is what he wants. And the Villa de Cannes Coleslaw Freight 2 is picking up steel and timber, which is what he wants, which is great. So that all seems to be functioning, and these guys are, I think, picking up rocks. Let's speed this guy up and just make sure. Let's see how the rocks is going, because we might need more rocks if we're not supplying nearly enough. Oh yeah, there's a little rock has appeared. Yep, so that's okay. So yeah, so everything that I put in is working. So I have connected it all up properly. It is complex. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to check on. But it all needs to run for a little bit just to make sure that everything is working hunky-dory, right? Whew, that's it. That is it. That is it. Yeah, that was big. That was a big connection connecting Tomoloso and Coleslaw. Yeah, that was a very big connection. We're producing plastic over here, and I see that we have finished goods over there. I wonder what the benefit is in kind of, because we're already bringing steel in trying to get goods made down here and shipping them back. Don't know, because we also have the plastics and stuff up here, but it's a very long distance. Remembering, of course, that you know, you make more money for the longer distance that things travel, etc., etc. So there's this side to do next, I think, is we need to hook up Palencia, Ubeda, and I don't know whether we'll go to the extent of hooking up Columnar and El Puerto de Santa Maria or whatever it is. So we've got a couple of places left to do to hook up and think about how we're going to hook those things up. And, you know, like I said, there's other things here, like now that we need a greater amount of refined oil, do I need to run a line up here and a hub up here to pick up oil and refined oil and run it down here into this hub, into the Villa de Cans hub. Possibly, very, very possibly. So there's that. There's also, bricks and again logs as well. So there's a couple of other things to think about. There's a few things to think about. We're not done yet. We haven't even started on passenger transport. But again, I have to stress, it's not even 1890 yet. I mean, look at how far we're going. I spent about 60 or 70 million on that, and we're already back into the black, and we're making money again. So everything's going just tickety boo. So thank you for joining me on Bonneyville. It's been a great experience. Thank you very much. I do hope you like what you have been watching. If you have, please click that like button, and remember, if you're liking, why not subscribe? And if you're a subscriber already, don't forget to check out some of the more interesting things available on my channel, such as channel membership, the Patreon, and of course the merch store. If you found this video particularly useful, feel free to drop in a super thanks, which would be super. Thanks very much. Until next time on sunny Bonneyville, I'll see you all real soon. Ta-ta for now.